Hey cats, good morning. What a beautiful morning it is too. Well, the holidays passed us and I survived. By the grace of God, I might say. You know, the Lord Jesus watches over me every day. I'm lucky to still be alive. As I look back on my life, there's been more than one occasion where I have come close to death. Somehow, I look back and I think, wow, it's crazy that I survived that, but I did. I mean, I went through severe health situations. I was given 3 years to live back in the 90s. I don't know how many motorcycle accidents in my life. One of them nearly fatal, but I'm still here. But anyway, this weekend I was out on the bike, and I was riding with my friend Tommy. Well, we went out to breakfast together. We always like to do that on Sundays. And so we had breakfast, and then he said, well, I got some errands to run. And I said, all right, well, I'm going to head back home and I'll catch up with you later. So I brought the bike back, and I just took care of a few things around here. And then I got back on the bike, and I headed south on my street here. I don't even think I was a half a mile down the road when I see this SUV coming, like a black, newer SUV, and it's coming head on towards me, but it's drifting over the center line. And, usually I see people, start to drift over the center line, and then they cut back over into their lane. This one didn't. It just kept coming farther and farther until it was almost completely in my lane. Well, instinctively, I hit the brakes and slowed down, but I also went clear over to the edge, to where the white line is on the edge of the road. If he would have come any further, I would have bailed into the ditch, which wouldn't have been good, but it would have still been better than a head-on, because he wasn't even slowing down. He was probably going 60 miles an hour straight at me, and shot right past me. There was another car behind that one, and I hope that they would have seen that. But, in that situation, it was gone, and by the time I would have turned around, I don't even know if I would have been able to catch them. And even if I did, then what would I do? Follow them all over to wherever they were going. Again, why? What are you doing? Are you playing with your cell phone? Are you tying your shoes while you're driving? I mean, come on. Maybe they were drinking. I mean, it was a holiday weekend, but it was probably around the noon hour, so you wouldn't think somebody would have been inebriated at that time of the day, but you never know. You never know. Some people go out to breakfast and get trashed, the Bloody Marys and whatever. So, yeah, I was just grateful that I wasn't hurt or anything, and then I got out of there without a scratch. I zipped right by. But wow, it just blows my mind. I mean, every day that I get on the bike and go out, I say a little prayer, because I never know whether it's going to be my last ride or not. And I pray that it wouldn't. I pray that I have a long life. I mean, I've been riding my whole life, and I'm still here. But I think we all ask that question, like, are we going to make it back home today without, getting seriously injured or killed? It's getting crazy nowadays, and it's not getting any better, I'll tell you that right now. So I've been cleaning out my garage. I've accumulated quite a pile of trash over here, and there's still more to go. But there was all kinds of stuff around, there was a whole stack of scrap wood leaned up against the wall here that I took out and stacked neatly in the shed, among other things, but I still got to get the rest of it cleaned up. I got a guy coming this week that's going to put a new floor coating on this garage for me, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Yeah, I got a pretty good deal on that, and I couldn't pass it up, and I mean, you'll see this floor has kind of been spalling over the years. In some places it's worse than others. And he seems to think this will take care of it. So, yeah, we'll see. I checked my mouse traps. I got one up there. I got two down here. Because I've been catching mice in here regularly. And this time of year, they're starting to come in looking for a nesting place. I got to keep close tabs on my Hemi travel trailer too, because they like to go in there and make a home, and I don't want them in there. I got another trap down here, and I got one on my workbench. I check them every day because I usually catch something in here regularly, like almost every other day. I catch them out in my shed too. So anyway, I moved a lot of stuff out to the shed temporarily. The dirt bike, the mini bike, that's all out in the shed, along with a bunch of other things. He said not to worry about the bigger things. He'll move stuff out when he gets ready to do the floor. The workbench is built right into the wall. When I constructed this thing, I made it heavy duty, and it ain't going nowhere. Yeah, it's part of the building, so I guess you're going to have to figure out how to get underneath there with their coating too, so which I assume that they can do okay. The Labor Day weekend is over, and it's hard to believe that this is the first day of September. Like, we're going to be in fall pretty soon. Already the leaves are starting to drop. It was funny, this morning I got up and I looked out the bathroom window as I was getting myself ready this morning, and I saw a doe laying down in the backyard sleeping. Oh, that's weird, because I've never seen that before. I mean, right out in my backyard in the grass. And just about the time I was looking out there, she got up and started stretching and, started cleaning herself, licking herself like a cat, which I've never seen them do before. And then I saw her look over to the pine trees there, and there are the two little fawns, which have already lost their spots. They're getting to be almost like yearlings now. They were just getting up and standing up, and they started cleaning themselves too, licking themselves, and then they all went out in the yard and peed. So it was kind of interesting to see them waking up this morning and getting moving. And they hung out in the backyard for quite a while. In fact, I came out to water my hanging basket, my hanging flowers, and they didn't even care. They just stood right there in my backyard and acted like it was no big deal that I was doing my thing. I think they're getting used to me, and I think they find this backyard is a little piece of heaven for them to hang out in. Although they had been getting into my garden, they were leaping over it's only like a 3-foot fence around there, and they can just they leap right over it, and then they're eating. They ate a bunch of my tomatoes. They liked the green tomatoes. They liked the green squash before it got ripe. They ate some of those, and they almost annihilated my jalapeno peppers. They ate the plant. They ate the peppers. They didn't like the red ones because those are hot. You could tell they spit those out on the ground, but all the green ones were gone. So anyway, it was a kind of a busy Labor Day weekend for me. I had a nice party that I was invited to, and lots of food and stuff, drinks and everything. A lot of people there. I met some really cool people and had a pretty good time. Now, the gal that had the party there had a big, in the backyard, she had a great big fire ring, and she had it all piled up with brush. Pretty good pile of brush. And of all things, my friend Tommy, he had won a flamethrower in a raffle. Yeah, an actual flamethrower. And so he brought this thing along, and he said this is how we're going to light the fire later on. So it was a little later in the afternoon when they deemed the time was right. He showed her how to use it. It was her place, you know. And so she took the flamethrower out there and torched that fire. And I got this clip here I'll show you.
Oh, yeah. Right next to the electrical line? Yeah.
So being the outdoor guy that I am, and being the master of campfires, which I've always enjoyed a good campfire, I became the fire tender and, you know, kept it going, kept pushing the stuff into the middle. You know how you do. You get a little stick and you just go around the fire, poking everything back in, making sure that you kept feeding it with more wood and stuff. So that worked out pretty good, and that kept me busy. And that way I felt like I had a role in the party, you know, the official fire tender. It was a fun thing, though. And then yesterday was Labor Day in itself. So, you know, and I thought, well, maybe my family might decide to have a picnic or something, but I didn't hear from anybody. So I just ended up hanging around here and cooked some, or grilled some burgers for myself. And I kind of just had my own holiday here at home. So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, you know, just another day for me. And spent a lot of time just monkeying around out here in the garage. Now, after he seals this garage floor, he said you shouldn't bring the bikes in or anything for at least 24 hours, best 48 hours. So that means they got to sit outside. And he told me that he would take care of covering everything up, anything I have to park outside. The car and the truck, I don't care about. They can sit out here in the driveway. The bikes, though, I don't want to really leave them sitting out in the weather. It is supposed to rain later this week. That would mean they'd be sitting out in the rain, which certainly won't hurt them, but I'd rather not. So, but he says, don't worry about it, I'll cover them. I think he even said he has a tent he could set up that we could park them under. But anyway, yeah. Looking forward to see how that turns out, because that should be nice. And then I've been considering insulating this place. You know, I think I can get that the foam sheets and fit it right in between the 2x4s here, and then cover that with some sheetrock. Perhaps I'll just put, you know, plywood around the base, just so, you know, because if it's sheetrock down at the bottom, it's easy to punch holes in, just putting stuff up against the wall and whatnot. So I might graze that up a little bit with plywood around the bottom, and then do sheetrock on the right. It's just something I'm thinking about. It might be a good winter project. And then I need to get some kind of a ceiling in here too. If I can get some panels and screw them up on there on the rafters, that would help hold the heat in here during the winter. And then I could come out and work comfortably in the winter time. So that's a consideration. Oh, by the way, I finally got my garage door opener for the bikes. And I got a garage door opener on each bike. I can just hit the button now. It's real quiet. It's a belt drive, so it doesn't make all the noise that the other one did. Okay, now we're going to listen to this one. So it makes a little more racket, but not that it matters. I mean, it's something that I never really gave 2 cents about anyways. I don't listen to the noise my garage door openers make, but I did notice this one runs a lot quieter and smoother than those other two. Those are two are LiftMasters. This is a Chamberlain, which sells through Home Depot. So I got this unit somewhere around $350 range, and that included installation and everything. The other company that is kind of a major garage door company in this area, and I don't know how big their chain is, but they wanted $1,029 to do the same thing that cost me about $350. What a ripoff. I mean, what a huge ripoff. So obviously I wasn't going to spend that kind of money on a garage door opener. So, but anyway, that's done. So now when I come in on the bikes, I can just hit the button, the garage door opens, and I pull right in. And then my concrete treatment that I did down here is holding up really nice. I mean, this is just like hard concrete now compared to that loose gravel over there. So when I come wheeling in on the bikes, you know, I'm not sliding in this marble gravel here. I'm actually on concrete now, and that makes all the world of difference. The garden is about on its last leg. You'll see all the yellow hillbilly tomatoes there. There's more than I can ever eat, and some of them are just rotting on the vine. The deer took care of all of the red tomatoes, pretty much wiped them out. I picked some of the squash, but there's a lot of squash back in there where I haven't even been able to walk because it's so tight. And I might have another zucchini coming on there within the next week or two. But I just picked a great big zucchini out of there earlier this week, and I baked a zucchini bread that turned out really, really good. And I took that to the party that I went to, and that was my donation, and it was well received. But yeah, the garden is on its last leg. I mean, the deer ate all the leaves off of the tomato plant here, and that one, and they started to get to these ones too. They chewed a lot of that one off over there. My Roma tomatoes did nothing this year. This was a Roma tomato plant here, and this was a Roma tomato plant, and I got no tomatoes on them, which was kind of strange because, yeah, I've always had lots of Romas, and I don't know why I had zero this year. So the sunflowers are done. I got one Sweet Annie Artemisia here. That'll seed out and it'll come back next year. I usually had a big patch of this over in my herb garden over there, but that did really bad this year. So that's it. I don't know if you can see a little spider web there. I see another one over there. So the spiders are making their home here. There's a little one right there. The question my brothers have been asking, are we going to camp out again this year? I usually have a fall camp out with my Hemi, and I do that usually in October. It's quite cooler then. It makes for a good campfire and cooking over the fire, and I always made my ham and bean soup. I don't know though. I don't know if I'm up to doing that again this year. I might just winterize the thing and put it to rest for the rest of the season. I just feel like I've been going, and I don't know. You get to the point where you're thinking, man, I just need to stop. I just need to have a time to gather my wits and just, chill for a while. Because it's just been go. And that's good for me because it keeps me from being depressed, but I still need to find things to do. There's no doubt about that. I can't just sit around here all day. Well, anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today, cats. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate your company, and I appreciate your comments. If you haven't yet, hit that like button and please subscribe. Continue to join me Till next time, cats. I'll catch you all later.